Long ago, in a lifetime far, far away, I was a single dad to a brilliant 16-year-old son who loved to write. One evening, after dinner, he asked me for a line to begin a new story with. I let my mind go blank for a moment, then shared with him this sentence that had come to me. Firefinger stood at the edge of the meadow and watched as his funeral pyre blazed. I thought it was a pretty good line, and I still do. But Aaron's muses moved him in a different direction, and he never used that line. But I never forgot it. Even though my life was completely consumed with my own extraordinary and powerful spiritual awakening and growth, for many years that opening line hovered in the periphery of my awareness, taunting me with its potential. It was waiting until I was ready. My name is Monty Pureheart, and I am the author of Soul's Sojourn, a fictionalized version of an ongoing true story that may or may not have ever occurred.
Finally, 5 years ago, it was time. I determined that I'd write my own short story, beginning with that line, and see where it would take me. If only I had known. What began as a short story wound up becoming one of the best things I've ever accomplished in this lifetime. In the story, one of the characters, Devil Loch Namor, the 800-year-old Atlantean teacher and wizard, who is a mentor to the main character, Chedrick, a young English lad, an orphan, sends the boy on his first solo mission into the world. Devil gives the boy detailed instructions on what to expect in the first part of his journey. And when Chedrick asks for clarification about the second part of the journey, Devil looks at him and says, "From there, my boy, your journey takes you." That's exactly what happened to me. When I wrote the book, that was my favorite line in the whole book. I had no idea where it was going, and it took me on a merry journey through remembered past lives, aspects of this life, and into fantasy worlds I didn't even know existed. We visit several of my own past lifetimes, well loved and well remembered. We encounter an ancient ent, a talking toad, a bright blue dragon who really wasn't one, fairies, a fairy wedding, a lovely encounter with the last dragon, and we rescue the mer people from annihilation. We travel to Atlantis, Tibet, Central America, and the Olmec civilization. We travel to London during the Blitz, and to other destinations, including some that are off-world. Throughout this story, as the old Atlantean wizard teaches the boy, he's also teaching the reader. In the end, a legend is born. Writing this book has been such a joy. I died the first time in this body when I was in my early 20s. Since then, I've made several more trips through that tunnel of light and onto the other side, where I've been adopted by an extremely high teacher. I have now been a spiritual teacher myself for nearly a third of a century in this body, and I've gained international reputation as a teacher's teacher, a healer's healer, and a psychic's psychic. This book will offer what I have to share with everyone who reads it. That is my success, my hope, and my reward. Thank you. Have a terrific day.
Firefinger hunkered down next to the splintered, mossy stump in the twilight damp at the edge of the deep forest. A light rain was falling, more like a heavy mist. His dark, forest-green cloak was wrapped loosely around him, disguising his form as he squatted there. The voluminous hood, redolent of 1,000 campfires, covered his head and caressed his cheeks with shadow.